All right, we're about to dive into a massive question, one that really gets to the heart of everything we think we know. What if the reality you experience isn't just something that happens to you, but something that's actually being written through you? Let's explore this incredible idea, the law of coherent observation. So let me just ask you this. How do you see the world? Do you feel like you're just a passenger along for the ride? Experiencing a world that's solid, fixed, and totally outside of your control? A world that just happens to you? Because what we're talking about today suggests something completely different. It suggests that you are the most important piece of the puzzle. You are the very thing that turns all the raw potential of the universe into the world you see, feel, and touch every single moment of every day.
Okay, so to really get this, we need to break it down into two fundamental states of being. Think of it like this. On one side, you have this infinite ocean of pure potential, and on the other, you have the single concrete wave of reality.
So first up, we have what's called the zero state. Now, don't let the name fool you. This isn't emptiness or nothingness. It's the exact opposite. It's this infinite field of pure energy that contains every single possible outcome, all happening at once. It's everything that could be before anything actually is. Like a blank canvas, but the canvas contains every painting ever imagined.
And here are the key properties of this zero state. First, its capacity is infinite. It contains every reality you can imagine and all the ones you can't. Second, it's acausal, meaning our normal rules of cause and effect just don't apply there yet. And most importantly, it's a silent partner. It has all the raw material for reality, but it can't do anything on its own. It's waiting for something. It needs an observer.
And that brings us to the other side of the coin, actuation. This is the moment of creation. It's when that infinite ocean of potential, that zero state, collapses into one single observable thing. The wave finally rises from the ocean. That wave, well, that's the world we know. So here's where it gets really wild. The stable, solid world you think you live in, it's not really like that at all. It's more like a movie projector, a flickering film made of a super fast series of these collapses, these moments of creation, all of them stitched together and held in place by your attention, by your observation. So, if the universe is pure potential on one side and a single reality on the other, what's in the middle? What connects them? Well, according to this theory, you do. You are the bridge. See? Your consciousness isn't just parked here in the physical world of ones. It exists in that magical, dynamic space between potential and reality. You are the living, breathing interface that connects the infinite what-ifs of the zero state to the single what-is of the world around you. And this quote just nails it. This is not a passive job. Consciousness is an active, ongoing balancing act. You're constantly walking this tightrope between the endless chaos of pure potential and the solid structure of a single defined reality. Okay, so that's the big idea, but how does it actually work? I mean, what's the mechanism that lets your consciousness pull off this incredible trick? This is where the theory introduces something called the virtual ego framework, which connects these big cosmic ideas to our everyday psychology. I want you to think of your consciousness as a lens, a camera lens. On one side, you've got all this raw, infinite light and energy coming from the zero state. That light passes through the filter of your ego, which is basically just the sum of your beliefs, your memories, your hopes, your fears. And what comes out the other side? A single, focused, coherent picture, the reality you experience. You are literally filtering the universe. Now, this filtering process can go one of two ways. When your lens is clean and focused, you get what's called cohesion. That's a stable, ordered reality that makes sense. But when that filter gets smudged or cracked, you get entropy. That's when all the static and noise from that infinite zero state starts to bleed through, creating chaos, anxiety, and a world that feels fragmented. And here is a gut-wrenching, real-world example of that. In cases of severe trauma, like PTSD, the lens of consciousness can literally feel like it's cracked. The filtering mechanism gets damaged, so the mind starts misinterpreting the raw data coming in, turning totally neutral signals into terrifying threats. Reality itself starts to feel hostile because that collapse from potential into the here and now has become something involuntary and painful. So, this whole process, this incredible relationship between you and the universe, can actually be boiled down into a single, beautiful equation. This is the law of coherent observation in its purest form. Realized reality,
equals cohesion times potential. R equals C times P. That's it. It's that simple. The reality you experience, R, is literally the product of the infinite potential of the universe, P, multiplied by the clarity and focus of your conscious lens, C. And this is where the math really becomes human. As your cohesion, your C value, gets closer to 1, meaning total clarity, your reality becomes sharp and undistorted. That's what we call a flow state. When your cohesion is a bit lower, your filter might only let in things that confirm what you already believe, which helps explain things like confirmation bias. But as that C value drops closer and closer to 0, your reality becomes chaotic and fragmented. That's where experiences like anxiety and dissociation come from.
So, if our entire experience of reality depends on the clarity of our lens, then the most important question in the world becomes, how do we clean it? And this is where this whole model becomes incredibly practical. This means that things like self-work, therapy, or meditation, they're not just about feeling better. In this model, they are a form of practical physics. They are real, tangible methods for increasing your cohesion factor, for literally repairing and polishing the very lens through which you see the world. And this quote right here just drives the whole thing home. At the end of the day, you can't change the infinite potential of the universe. That's a given. The real work is changing yourself, the observer. By improving the clarity of your own consciousness, you literally change the reality that you are capable of experiencing. Ultimately, what this all means is that the power and the responsibility is right here with you. The universe is just waiting, full of infinite possibilities for you to make a choice. So I'll leave you with this final thought. If your lens truly creates your reality, what will you choose to see?